Hello, and welcome to the first part of our journey to make speaking English so easy. Today, we're starting with 15 amazing words that will help you talk about your feelings in a new way. I'll explain each word, give you examples, and we'll practice together. Are you ready to have some fun while learning? Let's dive in. Imagine this. You're sitting with a friend, and you want to describe how you feel. Maybe super happy, or a bit careful. These words will help you do that. I'll say each word slowly, give you a simple meaning, and share a little story so you can understand it better. Then I'll ask you some questions to get you thinking and speaking. Don't worry if you're just listening. You can say the answers out loud to yourself. Speaking practice is the best way to learn, right? Part 1. Emotional words. So let's start with our first word, euphoria. Euphoria means a feeling of great happiness, like when you're so excited you can't stop smiling. Picture this. You just got a perfect score on a test you studied so hard for. Your heart is jumping and you feel like dancing. That's euphoria. Here's a sentence. I felt euphoria when I passed my exam. Can you say that with me? I felt euphoria when I passed my exam. Great. Now let's pause for 10 seconds so you can repeat it again on your own. Go ahead. Say it out loud. Amazing! Have you ever felt euphoria in your life? Maybe when you won a game or got a special gift? Think about it for a moment. Those happy moments are so fun to talk about, aren't they? Let me tell you a quick story about euphoria. Last summer, I went to a big music festival with my friends. The sun was shining, the music was loud, and everyone was dancing. When my favorite song played, I felt pure euphoria. I danced like nobody was watching. It was like the whole world disappeared and I was just happy. Have you ever had a moment like that? Maybe at a party or with your family. Try to think of one time you felt that big happiness. It's such a great feeling to share with others, and now you have the perfect word for it. Let's say the word again, euphoria. Nice. You're already sounding so confident. Now let's move to our second word, wary. Wary means being careful or cautious, like when you're not sure if you should trust something. For example, imagine you're walking home at night and it's very dark. You hear a strange noise, maybe a cat or maybe something else. You feel a bit nervous, so you walk slowly. That's being wary. Here's a sentence. I felt wary walking in the dark forest. Let's say it together. I felt wary walking in the dark forest. Good job. Now, I'll pause for 10 seconds so you can say it again by yourself. Go ahead. Perfect. So, tell me, have you ever felt wary? Maybe when you met a new person or tried something new? It's okay to feel wary sometimes. It means you're being smart and careful. Here's a little story about being wary. A few weeks ago, I saw a shop with a big sign that said everything free. It sounded amazing, but I felt wary. Free stuff? Really? So I asked the shopkeeper and he laughed. It was just a joke to get people inside. I'm glad I was wary because I didn't want to be tricked. Have you ever had a moment where you felt wary and it helped you? Maybe with a stranger or a weird situation? It's such a useful word to know. Let's practice one more time. Wary. Say it with me. Wary. Awesome. You're doing so well already. Before we finish this part, let me share a little quote I love. It's from a wise teacher who said, "Words are like magic. They help you show the world who you are." I think that's so true. When you learn new words like euphoria and wary, you can tell better stories, share your feelings, and make people smile. And guess what? You're already on your way to doing that. Isn't that exciting? We've got more words to learn in the next parts, so don't go anywhere. For now, let's think about how you can use these 2 words today. Here's your daily challenge. Use euphoria or wary in a sentence about your day. Maybe you felt euphoria when you ate your favorite food, or you felt wary about a new app on your phone. Say your sentence out loud even if you're just talking to yourself. It's all about practice. For example, I could say, "I felt euphoria when I heard my favorite song this morning. Now it's your turn. Try it today, and feel how easy speaking English can be." See you in the next part for more fun words. Keep smiling and keep practicing. Part 2. Emotional words. Continued. Let's keep the fun going with 2 more words to help you talk about your thoughts and feelings in English. Today, we're diving into words that let you describe deeper emotions and ideas. Delusion and contemplate. These words are perfect for sharing what's going on in your mind, and I'll make them super easy to understand with examples and stories. Ready to learn and practice? Let's start with our first word, delusion. Delusion means believing something that isn't true, like thinking something is real when it's not. Imagine a little kid who thinks they can fly like a superhero. They might jump off a chair with a big smile, but of course they can't really fly. That's a delusion. Here's a sentence. He had a delusion that he could fly. Let's say it together. He had a delusion that he could fly. Nice. Now I'll pause for 10 seconds so you can repeat it on your own. Go ahead, say it out loud. Great job. So have you ever had a funny delusion as a child? Maybe you thought monsters lived under your bed? I know I did. Thinking about those silly beliefs makes me laugh now. Let's say the word again, delusion. Good, let me share a little story about a delusion I had once. When I was younger, I had a delusion that if I ate lots of carrots, I could see in the dark like a cat. My mom told me carrots are good for your eyes, so I ate a whole bag one day. That night, I turned off all the lights and tried to walk around. Guess what? I bumped into a table. No cat powers for me. It was a funny delusion, but I learned something new. Have you ever believed something silly like that? Maybe about magic or a funny idea? It's so fun to think about. Let's practice the word one more time. delusion. Say it with me. Delusion. You're sounding so good already. Now let's move to our second word. Contemplate. Contemplate means to think deeply about something, like when you sit quietly and let your mind wander about big ideas. For example, imagine you're sitting by a window on a rainy day, watching the raindrops fall. You start thinking about your dreams, like what you want to do in the future. That's contemplating. Here's a sentence. I contemplate my future every night. Let's say it together. I contemplate my future every night. Awesome. I'll pause for 10 seconds so you can say it again by yourself. Go ahead. Perfect. So, what do you like to contemplate? Maybe your plans for the weekend or something big, like your dreams. I'll give you 15 seconds to think about it and say your answer out loud. Go for it. Nice. I bet you have some great ideas. Here's a quick story about contemplating. Last week, I went for a walk in a park near my house. It was so peaceful, just trees, birds, and a little lake. I sat on a bench and started to contemplate my day. I thought about what went well, like talking to a friend, and what I could do better tomorrow. It felt so calming, like a little break from my mind. Do you ever take time to contemplate things? Maybe when you're listening to music or before you sleep? It's such a nice way to relax and think. Let's practice the word again. Contemplate. Say it with me. Contemplate. You're doing so well. Before we wrap up this part, I want to share a little saying I heard once. The mind is like a garden. When you plant good thoughts, it grows beautiful ideas. I think contemplating helps us plant those good thoughts, don't you? And even delusions can teach us something. They make funny stories to share. These two words, delusion and contemplate, are so useful for talking about what's in your head. We've got more exciting words coming up in the next part, so stick around. For now, let's think about how you can use these words today. Here's your daily challenge. Before you go to bed tonight, take a moment to contemplate something important to you, like a goal or a happy memory. Then say a sentence out loud, using the word contemplate. For example, I could say, I sat by the window to contemplate my plans for tomorrow. It's so easy, right? Try it tonight and feel how these words make your English sound so smart. Keep practicing and I'll see you in the next part for more fun. You've got this. Part 3, Descriptive Qualities. Now that we've explored some words about feelings and thoughts, let's move on to words that help you describe things and people in a colorful way. Today, we're focusing on 2 words that are perfect for painting. A picture with your words, vibrant and charisma. These words will make your stories more exciting and help you sound so confident when you speak. Ready to give them a try? Let's jump in with our first word, vibrant. Vibrant means full of life or color, like something so bright and energetic that it makes you smile. Imagine walking into a market with red apples, yellow flowers, and people laughing everywhere. It feels so alive, right? That's vibrant. Here's a sentence. The market was vibrant with colors. Let's say it together. The market was vibrant with colors. Great. I'll pause for 10 seconds so you can repeat it on your own. Go ahead. Say it out loud. Awesome. So have you ever been to a vibrant place? Maybe a festival with music or a park in springtime? Think about it for a moment. Those places are so fun to talk about, aren't they? Let's say the word again, vibrant. Nice. Let me tell you a little story about something vibrant I saw. Last year I went to a dance show with my friends. The dancers wore these amazing costumes. Red, blue, gold, all sparkling under the lights. They moved so fast and the music was so loud. The whole room felt vibrant, like it was buzzing with energy. I couldn't stop smiling. Have you ever seen something like that? Maybe a street party or a colorful painting. It's so easy to picture it in your mind, right? Let's practice the word one more time. Vibrant. Say it with me. Vibrant. You're sounding so good already. Now let's move to our second word. Charisma. Charisma means a special charm that makes people like you. Like when someone walks into a room and everyone notices them because they're so friendly or funny. For example, think of a teacher who makes every class fun, so you never want to miss it. That's charisma. Here's a sentence. She has charisma and makes friends easily. Let's say it together. She has charisma and makes friends easily. Good job. I'll pause for 10 seconds so you can say it again by yourself. Go ahead. Perfect. So, who in your life has charisma? Maybe a friend, a family member, or even a celebrity you like? I'll give you 15 seconds to think about it and say your answer out loud. Go for it. Nice. I bet that person makes you smile a lot. Here's a quick story about someone with charisma. My neighbor, Anna, is the most charming person I know. Last week, she hosted a small picnic in her garden. She told funny stories, sang songs, and made everyone laugh. Even the shy people started talking. That's her charisma. It's like magic. Do you know someone like that? Maybe a classmate who's always the life of the party? It's so great to have those people around, isn't it? Let's practice the word again. Charisma. Say it with me, charisma. You're doing so well. Before we finish this part, I want to share a little thought I had. Words like vibrant and charisma are like paintbrushes. They help you add color to your stories. Imagine telling a friend about a vibrant market or a person with charisma. It makes your English sound so alive. Isn't that exciting? We've got more words to learn in the next part, so don't go anywhere. For now, let's think about how you can use these two words today. Here's your daily challenge. Describe a friend or a place using vibrant or charisma in a sentence. For example, I could say, "My friend John has so much charisma, everyone loves him." Or, "The park near my house looks vibrant in spring. Now it's your turn." Say your sentence out loud, even if you're just talking to yourself. It's all about practice. Try it today and feel how these words make your English shine. See you in the next part for more fun words. Keep smiling and keep speaking. You're amazing. Part 4, Descriptive Qualities. Continued. We're doing so well with describing things, so let's keep going with 2 more words that help you paint pictures with your words. Today we're learning about enigmatic and rosy, words that let you describe mysterious or happy things in a new way. These will make your stories sound so interesting, and I'll keep it simple with examples and practice. Ready to dive in? Let's start with our first word, enigmatic. Enigmatic means mysterious or hard to understand, like something that makes you curious because you don't know much about it. Imagine meeting someone who smiles a lot but doesn't talk much. You wonder what they're thinking. Are they hiding a secret? That's enigmatic. Here's a sentence. His smile was enigmatic. Let's say it together. His smile was enigmatic. Nice! I'll pause for 10 seconds so you can repeat it on your own. Go ahead, say it out loud. Great job! So what's something enigmatic in your life? Maybe a strange book or a quiet neighbor? I'll give you 15 seconds to think about it and say your answer out loud. Go for it. Awesome. It's fun to think about mysteries, isn't it? Let's say the word again. Enigmatic. Good. Let me share a little story about something enigmatic I came across. A few months ago, I found an old box in my attic. It was dusty and locked with a tiny keyhole. Nobody knew what was inside. Not even my parents. It felt so enigmatic, like it was hiding a big secret. I still haven't opened it, but every time I see it, I wonder about its story. Have you ever found something like that? Maybe an old photo or a strange object. It's so exciting to imagine what it could be. Let's practice the word one more time. Enigmatic. Say it with me. Enigmatic. You're sounding so confident already. Now, let's move to our second word. Rosy. Rosy means cheerful or optimistic, like when you feel so positive that everything looks bright. For example, imagine you get a new job and you think it's going to be amazing. You feel happy about the future. That's rosy. Here's a sentence. She has a rosy view of life. Let's say it together. She has a rosy view of life. Good job. I'll pause for 10 seconds so you can say it again by yourself. Go ahead. Perfect. So have you ever had a rosy day? Maybe when everything went right, like a sunny day with friends? Think about it for a moment. Those days are so nice to talk about, aren't they? Let's practice the word again. Rosy. Say it with me. Rosy. You're doing so well. Here's a quick story about a rosy moment I had. Last weekend, I went hiking with my family. The sky was blue, the flowers were blooming, and we laughed the gate whole way up the hill. At the top, we watched the sunset, and I thought, wow, the future looks so rosy. It was like a little gift from the day. Do you ever have moments like that? Maybe after a good meal or a fun trip, it feels so warm to think about. Let's say the word one more time. Rosy. Nice. You've got it. Before we wrap up this part, I want to share a little saying I love. Life is a mystery to solve and a garden to grow. I think enigmatic and rosy fit so well with that idea. They help you talk about the mysteries and the happy moments in your life. These words make your English sound so rich, don't they? We've got more to learn in the next part, so stick around. For now, let's think about how you can use these two words today. Here's your daily challenge. Use enigmatic or rosy to describe someone or something in your day. For example, I could say, "My new teacher is so enigmatic. I don't know what she's thinking." Or, "Today felt rosy because I got a nice message from a friend." Now it's your turn. Say your sentence out loud, even if you're just practicing, by yourself. It's so easy, right? Try it today and feel how these words make your stories shine. See you in the next part for more exciting words. Keep practicing and keep smiling. You're doing great. Part 5. Actions and Tendencies. We've learned so many great words to describe feelings and things, so now let's switch gears and talk about actions, words that help you describe what people do. Today we're focusing on two words that are perfect for telling stories about behavior, exaggerate, and lure. These will make your English sound so lively, and I'll keep it simple with examples and practice. Ready to jump in? Let's start with our first word, exaggerate. Exaggerate means to make something seem bigger or more than it really is, like when you tell a story and add a little extra to make it fun. For example, imagine you caught a tiny fish while fishing, but you tell your friends it was as big as a shark. That's exaggerating. Here's a sentence. He exaggerates his stories all the time. Let's say it together. He exaggerates his stories all the time. Nice. I'll pause for 10 seconds so you can repeat it on your own. Go ahead. Say it out loud. Great job. So, do you ever exaggerate a story? Maybe about how cold it was or how fast you ran. I'll give you 15 seconds to think about it and say your answer out loud. Go for it. Awesome. It's fun to make stories a bit bigger sometimes, isn't it? Let's say the word again, exaggerate. Good. Let me share. A little story about when I exaggerated something. Last month, I told my friend I waited 1,000,000 years for the bus. Of course, it wasn't really 1,000,000 years, just 20 minutes, but it felt like forever. We both laughed because she knew I was exaggerating to make it sound funny. Have you ever done that? Maybe you said you ate 1,000 cookies when it was just 3. It's such a playful way to talk. Let's practice the word one more time. Exaggerate. Say it with me. Exaggerate. You're sounding so confident already. Now let's move to our second word. Lure. Lure means to attract or tempt someone, like when something pulls you in because it looks so good. For example, imagine walking past a bakery and the smell of fresh cookies makes you want to go inside. That smell lures you. Here's a sentence. The shop lured me with discounts. Let's say it together. The shop lured me with discounts. Good job. I'll pause for 10 seconds so you can say it again by yourself. Go ahead. Perfect. So what's something that has lured you? Maybe a sale at a store or a yummy dessert. Think about it for a moment. It's hard to resist those things, right? Let's practice the word again. Lure. Say it with me. Lure. You're doing so well. Here's a quick story about something that lured me. A few weeks ago, I saw a big sign outside a shop. Free ice cream today. It lured me inside so fast I couldn't say no. But when I got there, they said I had to buy something first. Sneaky, right? Still, I got a little ice cream, so I was happy. Have you ever been lured by something like that? Maybe a buy one, get one free deal or a friend's invitation to a fun place. It's so easy to get pulled in. Let's say the word one more time. Lure. Nice. You've got it. Before we finish this part, I want to share a little thought I had. Words like exaggerate and lure are like spices. They add flavor to your stories. Imagine telling a friend how a shop lured you or how you exaggerated a funny moment. It makes your English so exciting to listen to. Isn't that great? We've got more words coming up in the next part, so don't go anywhere. For now, let's think about how you can use these 2 words today. Here's your daily challenge. Use exaggerate or lure in a sentence about shopping or telling a story. For example, I could say, the bright lights lured me into the toy store. Or, I always exaggerate how heavy my bag is to make my friends laugh. Now it's your turn. Say your sentence out loud, even if you're just practicing by yourself. It's so simple, right? Try it today and feel how these words make your English pop. See you in the next part for more fun words. Keep practicing and keep smiling. You're amazing. Part 6. Actions and Foundations. We've been having so much fun with words about actions, so let's keep exploring words that help you talk about ideas and history. Today, we're focusing on 2 words that are great for describing foundations and origins: root and feudal. These might sound a bit new, but I'll make them super easy with examples and stories. Ready to learn and practice? Let's jump in with our first word, root. Root means a base or origin, like the starting point of something. It can be about plants, like the roots underground, or about ideas, like where something began. For example, Imagine your family has a tradition of cooking a special dish every holiday. That tradition has deep roots in your family history. Here's a sentence. Her love for music has deep roots. Let's say it together. Her love for music has deep roots. Nice. I'll pause for 10 seconds so you can repeat it on your own. Go ahead. Say it out loud. Great job. So, what's a tradition with deep roots in your family? Maybe a special song or a holiday habit. I'll give you 15 seconds to think about it and say your answer out loud. Go for it. Awesome. It's so special to think about those origins, isn't it? Let's say the word again. Root. Good. Let me share a little story about something with deep roots in my life. Every summer, my family goes to the same small beach town. We've been doing it since I was a kid, eating ice cream at the same shop, swimming in the same spot. My grandma says it started with her parents, so it has deep roots in our family. It feels like a little piece of history every time we go. Do you have something like that in your life? Maybe a recipe or a place you always visit. It's so nice to feel connected to the past. Let's practice the word one more time. Root. Say it with me. Root. You're sounding so confident already. Now let's move to our second word, feudal. Feudal is a word about history. It describes an old system from a long time ago, like in the Middle Ages, where people worked on land for a lord in exchange for protection. It's not something we see today, but it helps you talk about the past. For example, imagine a village hundreds of years ago with farmers and a big castle. That's a feudal system. Here's a sentence. The feudal system was harsh for workers. Let's say it together. The feudal system was harsh for workers. Good job. I'll pause for 10 seconds so you can say it again by yourself. Go ahead. Perfect. So, have you ever read a story or watched a movie about knights and castles? Maybe you pictured a feudal village? Think about it for a moment. Those old times are so interesting to imagine, aren't they? Let's practice the word again. Feudal. Say it with me. Feudal. You're doing so well. Here's a quick story about learning the word feudal. Last year I watched a TV show about a king and his kingdom. There were big castles, farmers working in fields, and lords making rules. It was all part of the feudal system. At first, I thought it sounded so exciting, like a fairy tale. But then I learned it was really hard for most people back then. It made me curious about history. Have you ever seen something like that in a book or show? Maybe with knights or old villages? It's like stepping back in time. Let's say the word one more time. Feudal. Nice. You've got it. Before we wrap up this part, I want to share a little saying I heard once. Every tree has roots, and every story has a beginning. I think root and feudal fit so well with that idea. They help you talk about where things come from, whether it's a family habit or a piece of history. These words make your English sound so smart, don't they? We've got more to learn in the next part, so stick around. For now, let's think about how you can use these 2 words today. Here's your daily challenge. Use root or feudal in a sentence about history or family. For example, I could say, my family's love for soccer has deep roots. It started with my grandfather. Or, I read about the feudal system in a history book. Now it's your turn. Say your sentence out loud, even if you're just practicing by yourself. It's so easy, right? Try it today and feel how these words add depth to your English. See you in the next part for more exciting words. Keep practicing and keep smiling. You're doing great. Part 7. Negative Outcomes. We've learned so many amazing words already, and now it's time to explore some words that help you talk about things that don't go as planned. Today we're focusing on 3 words about flaws and challenges: blemish, fiasco, and inevitable. These are perfect for telling stories about little mistakes or big surprises, and I'll keep it simple with examples and practice. Ready to dive in? Let's start with our first word, blemish. Blemish means a small flaw or imperfection, like a tiny mark that doesn't ruin everything but still catches your eye. For example, imagine you buy a beautiful new table, but there's a little scratch on it. That scratch is a blemish. Here's a sentence. The table had a blemish on the corner. Let's say it together. The table had a blemish on the corner. Nice! I'll pause for 10 seconds so you can repeat it on your own. Go ahead, say it out loud. Great job! So what's a small blemish in your day? Maybe a stain on your shirt or a late bus? I'll give you 15 seconds to think about it and say your answer out loud. Go for it. Awesome. It's funny how those little things stand out, isn't it? Let's say the word again. Blemish. Good. Let me share a little story about a blemish I noticed. Last week, I baked a cake for my friend's birthday. It looked so pretty. Chocolate frosting, sprinkles, everything. But when I cut it, I saw a small blemish. One part didn't bake right and was a bit gooey. Nobody cared. They still ate it and loved it. But I couldn't stop thinking about that little flaw. Have you ever had something like that? Maybe a drawing with a smudge or a project with a tiny mistake? It's okay. Those little blemishes make things real. Let's practice. The word one more time. Blemish. Say it with me, blemish. You're sounding so confident already. Now let's move to our second word, fiasco. Fiasco means a big failure, like when something goes completely wrong and turns into a mess. For example, imagine you plan a picnic, but it rains, the food spills, and everyone leaves early. That's a fiasco. Here's a sentence. The party was a fiasco. Let's say it together. The party was a fiasco. Good job. I'll pause for 10 seconds so you can say it again by yourself. Go ahead. Perfect. So, have you ever had a fiasco? Maybe a trip that went wrong or a plan that failed. Think about it for a moment. It's okay to laugh about those moments. They make the best stories. Let's practice the word again. Fiasco. Say it with me. Fiasco. You're doing so well. Here's a quick story about a fiasco I had. A few months ago, I tried to cook dinner for my family. Fancy pasta, sauce, the works. But I burned the sauce, the pasta got sticky, and the kitchen was a mess. It was a total fiasco. My family laughed and ordered pizza instead, so it turned out fine. Have you ever had a cooking fiasco or something like that? Maybe a school project or a game that didn't go as planned? It happens to everyone. Let's say the word one more time. Fiasco. Nice. You've got it. Finally, let's talk about our third word, inevitable. Inevitable means something you can't avoid, like it's going to happen no matter what. For example, if dark clouds are in the sky, rain might be inevitable. Here's a sentence. Rain was inevitable today. Let's say it together. Rain was inevitable today. Good job. I'll pause for 10 seconds so you can say it again by yourself. Go ahead. Perfect. So, what's something inevitable in your life? Maybe a test you can't skip or a busy day coming up. Think about it for a moment. It's nice to be ready for those things, right? Let's practice the word again. Inevitable. Say it with me. Inevitable. You're doing amazing. Here's a little story about something inevitable I faced. Last weekend, I knew losing a game with my friends was inevitable. I'm terrible at cards. Sure enough, I lost every round, but we laughed so much it didn't matter. Sometimes inevitable things aren't so bad. Have you ever had something like that? Maybe a rainy day you couldn't stop or a chore you had to do? It's part of life. Let's say the word one more time. Inevitable. Nice. You've got it down. Before we finish this part, I want to share a little thought. Even when things go wrong, like a blemish, a fiasco, or something inevitable, they make life interesting. These words help you tell those stories with confidence. We've got one more part coming up to review everything, so don't go anywhere. For now, let's think about how you can use these 3 words today. Here's your daily challenge. Use blemish, fiasco, or inevitable in a sentence about a challenge you faced. For example, I could say, the picnic was a fiasco because it rained all day. Or, being late felt inevitable because of the traffic. Now, it's your turn. Say your sentence out loud, even if you're just practicing by yourself. It's so easy, right? Try it today, and feel how these words make your English stronger. See you in the next part for our big review. Keep practicing. And keep smiling, you're fantastic. Part 8. Review, practice, and final challenge. We've made it to the final part of our journey, and I'm so proud of you for sticking with me. Today we're going to review all 15 words we've learned, practice them in a fun story, and wrap up with a big challenge to keep you speaking English every day. This is all about putting everything together. So let's make it exciting. First, Let's quickly go over each word with a short example to refresh your memory. Ready to hear them? All again, let's get started. Our first word was euphoria, great happiness. Like, I felt euphoria when I passed my exam. Next, wary, being careful. I felt wary walking in the dark forest. Then, delusion, a false belief. He had a delusion that he could fly. And contemplate, to think deeply. I contemplate my future every night. Now vibrant, full of life or color. The market was vibrant with colors, and charisma, a special charm. She has charisma and makes friends easily. Next, enigmatic, mysterious and hard to understand. His smile was enigmatic, and rosy, cheerful or optimistic. She has a rosy view of life. Then exaggerate, to make something seem bigger. He exaggerates his stories all the time, and lure, to attract or tempt. The shop lured me with discounts. After that, root, a base or origin. Her love for music has deep roots. And feudal, an old historical system. The feudal system was harsh for workers. Then blemish, a small flaw. The table had a blemish on the corner. And fiasco, a big failure. The party was a fiasco. Finally, inevitable, something you can't avoid. Rain was inevitable today. Wow, you've learned so many words. Give yourself a big cheer, you deserve it. Let's keep going with some practice. Now, let's put all these words into a short story so you can hear them in action. I'll say each sentence slowly, and I'll pause for 10 seconds after each one so you can repeat it out loud. If you want a challenge, try saying it faster the second time. Ready? Here we go. She felt euphoria at the vibrant festival, dancing under the bright lights. Now repeat. Good. But she was wary of an enigmatic man who stood quietly in the corner. Repeat. Nice. Some people had a delusion that the festival would last all night. Repeat. Great. So she sat by a tree to contemplate her amazing day. Repeat. Awesome. The festival leader had charisma and lured everyone to join a big dance. Repeat. Perfect. She exaggerated how many people were there, saying it felt like 1,000,000. Repeat. Good. Her love for festivals had deep roots in her childhood memories. Repeat. Nice. A little boy nearby wore a costume like a feudal knight. It was so cute. Repeat. Great. But there was a blemish on her perfect day when she lost her scarf. Repeat. Awesome. Then a sudden rain turned the dance into a fiasco, with everyone running. Repeat. Perfect. Still, the rain was inevitable, so she laughed and danced anyway. Repeat. Fantastic. What a fun story, right? You did so well repeating all those sentences. Before we finish, let me share a little thought I had. These 15 words are like keys. They unlock new ways to tell your stories and share your ideas. Every time you use them, you're building your confidence in English. Isn't that amazing? Now let's wrap up with a quick recap of everything we've done. Today, you learned 15 words to make speaking English easy. Euphoria, wary, delusion, contemplate, vibrant, charisma, enigmatic, rosy, exaggerate, lure, root, futile, blemish, fiasco, and inevitable. Practice them daily by listening to this video, repeating after me, and trying the challenges. Keep speaking, and soon talking in English will feel so easy. Subscribe to Learn English with Stories 365 for more, and let's keep learning together. Here's your final daily challenge. Use all 15 words in a short story this week. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just have fun with it. Maybe write about a vibrant festival, a feudal castle, or a funny fiasco. Share it with a friend or in the comments if you want. For example, you could start with, I felt euphoria at the vibrant market, but a blemish on my day was losing my bag. Keep going from there. Try it this week and feel how powerful your English can be. That's all for today's video, and I'm so proud of you for learning with me. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to subscribe to Learn English with Stories 365 for more fun ways to improve your English. Also, come join our friendly community on Facebook in our group, Learn English with Stories 365. We'd love to hear from you and practice together. Oh, and one more thing. Make sure to download our free PDF, 1000 Most Common English Words, to keep growing your vocabulary. The links for the Facebook group and the PDF are right in the description below. Thank you for being here. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.